The third round of the digital entertainment on-demand SuperGP Champions Trophy headed to the Mother City and to Killarney Raceway in Cape Town. It's Cape Town riders and wildcard riders that most of the SuperGP field were concerned about. Not Matthew Skoltz, who hole-shot it, and unfortunately Garrick Flock getting it all wrong, along with Nicholas Kershaw, who unfortunately also got tagged in the first lap incident down into turn 1. Both riders getting up and walking away. It would be the end of the day's racing for Garrick Flock. We'd see Kershaw back in race 2. At the front end, the Yamaha-mounted riders Matthew Skoltz and Clint Seller were going at it big time with Lance Isaacs and Brent Herron. Amazing stuff and absolutely incredible fighting action coming from behind as Brandon Good was forced wide as the two wildcard riders in SuperM, Ronald Slamet and David McFadden, started to make their way to the front end of the field. They started to tick off the riders, and one, incredibly, was Clint Seller, the championship leader, unfortunately with an issue on his new bike, and that would have to be sorted out in race number 2. He was out for race number 1, would go into pit lane, and yes, at the end of the day, McFadden taking the victory overall ahead of Ronald Slamet. It was Isaacs who actually won things out in the Super GP category, and Super M's going to McFadden. Could Isaacs do it again in race number 2? With the two Yamahas getting through into first and second into turn 1, it looked like Isaacs had his work cut out for him. A nice start from Brent Herron also saw him resurging as he had incidents in race number 1 and didn't finish. So he had it all to do now in race 2. Slamet had a great start, but unfortunately it was short-lived. He went down in turn 1, and even with the help of the Killarney marshals, he couldn't quite get it up in time to get back onto track. So two Kawasaki's fighting with two Yamahas at the front, and this is what it was all about for the rest of the race. McFadden, as I said in race number 1, ticked them off one by one, getting through to the front. Into the halfway mark, and McFadden eventually ticked everybody off and got to the front end. It wasn't easy for him. Matthew Skoltz was loving life on his M-Tech Nashua Yamaha. Clint Seller certainly had the bike all sorted out. Lance Isaacs was battling though, and had fallen into the clutches of Ronald Slamet and Trevor Westman. Andre Calvert was up there as well and would eventually win the Rookie of the Day after taking a podium in the first race. At the front end, the battle continued. Seller realized that if he could run with McFadden, he could probably get away. Unfortunately, that was not the case, because Brent Herron all of a sudden turned the wick up and looked like he was the man to beat. The Black Knight has already beaten the King once, and he was looking for a second victory here after not having a finish in race number 1. Checkered flag came out, McFadden took overall and Super M's, and Brent Herron ecstatic with his absolutely amazing ride to win out over his arch rival Clint Seller, and on their tail, Matthew Skoltz. Aaron van Niekerk, big fans in Cape Town for that man, and he climbed up to thank them all for the support. It's great to have the Van Brothers man back in on the podium. Massive support for Brent Herron. Looking forward to going to Red Star on the 14th of June.